Welcome to the Success Sensei podcast for anyone interested in success, happiness, and balance. We'll teach you how to be a black belt at life. And now, your host, former professional fighter, multiple world champion, entrepreneur, and investor, Robert Devane.
Bowing in. This is Robert Devane, the Success Sensei, helping you to win at life one kick and punch at a time. Episode 373. Embrace your midlife crisis.
It's the Success Sensei podcast main event.
Embrace your midlife crisis. Welcome to this episode. Oh my gosh, so far this year I seem to be recording on average one episode a month. Wasn't my plan, wasn't my intention, but needs must. I will try to do one once a week, but you know what? I've got the best of intentions and then just life gets in the way, and I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, because life is very busy. It is actually very fulfilling. So I might be procrastinating on getting the episodes out, but I'm actually doing other things which are really good as well at the same time. So it's very hard to juggle, but I promise I will make more of an effort. That promise is to myself as well as to people who constantly remind me that I haven't put out an episode. This one in particular is embracing your midlife crisis. When does the midlife crisis start? Well, there's absolutely a quarter life crisis. That's a thing as well. That can start as early as 25 generally. I think up to the age of 21, everybody's, flying around happy enough. Things start to get a little bit more serious from the age of 25. And I think you can have various different crises when you're 30, when you're 40, when you're 50. I'm sure I'll have one when I'm 60, when I'm 70, etc. I don't think it necessarily ever goes away. In fact, I'm convinced with my mindset, with my lifestyle, and with my ambition that I've probably been living through a midlife crisis my whole life. Now, this is the mindset I need you to get into. It's not such a bad thing. Embrace it. What is it? I suppose it's a frustration and it's a dissatisfaction with the way things are. It's where you simply want more. Your expectations are higher than reality. That can all be extremely negative, or it can be fuel for your fire. It can absolutely spur you on to achieve the things that you're dissatisfied that you haven't achieved. You can lean in to your midlife crisis. You don't have to deny it or avoid it. In fact, it's a waste of time. That's where the unhappiness comes from, denying it and avoiding it, because it's going to happen to everybody, maybe more than once in your lifetime. So you may as well see it as an opportunity for change, for positive change. You may as well see it as every crisis is a metamorphosis. It's a chance to evolve. It's a chance to change. It's a chance to become a renewed and better version of yourself, mentally, physically, spiritually. It's not such a bad thing. I think it has a very negative connotation in today's society, a midlife crisis, and to try to hide it as much as possible. It doesn't have to necessarily be getting a flash sports car and changing your partner to a younger model. It can manifest itself in lots of different ways. It could be to do with changing your career. It could be to revisiting and looking at your routines. It could be reminding yourself what's important in your life. It could be reskilling. It could be re-educating. It could be basically rejigging things in your life to focus on what's important now. And what's important now may have changed, and probably has changed, and hopefully it has changed. If you are the same person you were 10 years ago, you know what? You failed. You're supposed to be different. You're supposed to have changed. Your views, your politics, everything. It's absolutely allowable and encouraged that you are evolving, that you are embracing change. It's the resistance to the change, and it's the resistance to the midlife crisis. The crisis doesn't have to be such a crisis. It could be a midlife change. So what I'm suggesting is embrace it. Enjoy it. You've only got one shot at this. You've only got one shot at life. Without the feeling of a midlife crisis, would you have made any changes to your life? Would you have improved in any shape or form? This is the thing that's hardwired in our biology to kick us to the next level. Without, these feelings, and feelings, not just thoughts, hormonal feelings, without, this biology, would we make any change? Would we advance? We're already living a hell of a lot longer than our ancient ancestors would. So obviously, we're going to go through a hell of a lot more changes than they would have, because we're trying to live longer. And it can hit you at each milestone birthday. It can hit you at each decade. If you're dissatisfied enough, then you will make the changes. That's the problem. If you've got low-level dissatisfaction, low-level frustration, you might stay at that level forever. You might not make any changes. It's like the analogy of the dog sitting on the nail. And the dog is sitting on a nail and he's howling away. And, people are wondering why isn't the dog moving if it's sitting on the nail? And it's just not uncomfortable enough. It's just not painful enough for the dog to move. The laziness is counteracting the discomfort. But if it was a little bit more painful, absolutely the dog would move. So maybe we're all dogs. We're all sitting on nails that, maybe they're not uncomfortable enough for us to do anything about it. So that's doing us a great disservice. Maybe the midlife crisis is giving us enough discomfort to actually spur us on to do something. Now, the problem with midlife crisis is if you go too far, if you become too frustrated, too stressed out, too overwhelmed, too annoyed and unhappy, you can cross over the point where it's useful, and now it's not useful at all, because it makes you just purely give up and think that there's no point. So you've gone too far. You absolutely can use a negative driver for a positive. But if that negative driver becomes debilitating and you can't use it for a positive, that negative driver becomes a downward negative spiral, then you've gone too far. I know this, you know this, we all know this, but we have to manage our own thoughts and manage our own emotions and realize that sometimes kicking yourself in your own arse is what you needed to get you going. You can't always rely on a mentor or a coach at various stages in your life. Maybe you won't have a parent or a mentor or a coach to kick you in the arse. And nowadays people tend not to metaphorically want to do it to you. We live in a politically correct time, so people are kind of afraid to tell you that, do you know what you need to do? You need to cop onto yourself and go in such and such a direction. People are less likely to say that to us now, which again is doing us a disservice. So do you know what? That's fine. Let's do it to ourselves. Let's embrace the midlife crisis. Let's figure out the best way to proceed. Your needs have changed. Your wants have changed. Your desires have changed. Your fantasies have changed. Your goals have changed. So let's have a look at it every so often, and let's spur ourselves on to leaning into that crisis, to really understanding ourselves. And that's basically what happens. As time goes by, we should know who we are. We should know our faults. We should know our good points, and we should be able to create the ideal life, or certainly a more ideal. You're never going to hit the perfect life, but certainly we can make better decisions based around what we know our drawbacks are and what we know our positives are. So enjoy it. You might only get to have the opportunity for one midlife crisis. Maybe you'll get several. Maybe you'll live your life like, you don't have much time left. It's not necessarily a bad concept to realize that this isn't a dress rehearsal. Live, as if you're not coming back. Maybe you believe in reincarnation, maybe you don't. But this particular version of yourself and this particular time can never be repeated again. So that's not a bad idea to get into your mind, to finally, take the brakes off and do the things and live the life, or certainly shape the life for the future, for the short-term future as well as the long-term future that you want to live. Look, embrace it, enjoy it, hit me up, message me anytime. Thank you for listening. I'm Robert Devane, the Success Sensei. Life is a fight you can enjoy and win. Bowing out.
This has been the Success Sensei, fighting the winning fight. So add us, subscribe, like, and comment. Keep those hands up and keep moving forward.